What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to the After Action Report, Asgard versus X-Force. And before we have any discussion, holy spanking, man. Like, I just got rocked on that one. I felt going into round 4, it's like, okay, I still have a chance. I can come back. And then Thor just spikes beyond belief.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, we're done with this game here.
Yeah, Doom Prophecy turns out is really powerful, and
there's a reason why it was it was on
made Asgard only.
It was restricted, I believe, and then it was made Asgard only or something like that. But yeah, there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
there's a reason. When Agent Widow was throwing, I think, like 64 dice at one point, like it was bonkers.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness. Yeah. So before we get into like the meat and potatoes, let's talk about our disappointment with Hela.
Yeah, she did nothing this game. She eventually took X-23, but it took way more tries than it had any right to.
What was it? 3 times you threw 8 dice mystic attacks into her.
And did like 1 or 2 damage on most of them?
I think a couple of them actually blocked all of it as well.
One of them
right?
did, yeah. Like the very end, I mean, at that point it didn't matter, but the very last one, you literally took nothing from an 8 dice mystic.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. It's one of those problems. Like I remember you took Hela explicitly because like you wanted to play around with her and see what she could do, and yeah, like
and in the past she's done work for me, so I was hopeful, but
I was hopeful too. I always want to see every character kind of do some cool stuff, and unfortunately, it just didn't really happen this game.
For what it's worth, she held that side of the board at least. She kept X-23 busy.
But I think the downside of that one, it wasn't because of Hela. It was just because I was just as pillow-fisted into Hela.
Yeah, like
X-23.
You did the 6 damage to her like it was nothing, and then on her flip side, like we kept saying between attacks and stuff, that if you were to spike into her, or even 4 damage isn't really a spike, if you were to get the 4, I have all these different ways to keep her alive, and I just didn't need to use any of them.
And that's actually a really key thing. You were sitting on Odin's Blessing this entire time, never needed to use it.
I never ended up using it.
And like that Ascani Sun that I did was just so disappointing.
I would have Odin's Blessinged it, but you definitely should have got Beta Ray there too.
I should have.
And when you were talking about it between rounds, what you wanted to do going into that, because I'd made the Doom Prophecy to force you into a tough decision, Ixani's Sun was the one I was the most scared of. That was the option where I think you made the right choice.
I mean, my other option I was considering was Psylocke.
Yeah, and Psylocke, as far as single target damage goes, is pretty good.
She had the power to do her spender, plus she had a whole bunch of rerolls on hand. Or she could have even just like done the telekinetic katana, right?
So she would have needed, from her 2 7 dice attacks, basically one of them would have needed to do at least, or both of them would have needed to do at least 6 damage.
The thing is, I didn't really have any great options on that one, right? Like theoretically, I could have like done Mystique and Nickel and Diamond and just fished for 2 damage each shot.
I think that might have done it, especially the way Mystique was rolling in the early game here.
The problem is Mystique is, yes, I was rolling a lot of dice, but I at no point did it ever feel guaranteed. Like nothing felt guaranteed in that last one. And the thing with Cable, I was hoping for at least the stagger.
Yep, and I mean, I would have just removed it using Asgardian leadership, but
which is fair, but it would have tempered your power a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just that last round, I was not in a great position. You having Doom Prophecy pretty much meant that Thor was not going down unless I went spike into spike.
Or Odin's Blessing.
Sorry, Odin's Blessing, yeah.
Yeah, you needed to double spike him in order to actually take him up.
And that was the downside. You just had so much to work with in that particular one. And Cable went down like a chump in this game.
The second time especially, yeah. Like I know I whiffed an attack or into him, I think on his front side, but
the very first one. But after that, Thor showed up and just started getting work done, right?
Yeah, Cable did not last long after that.
Yeah. Psylocke was a little disappointing in this game for me.
She also kind of whiffed most of her maiden attacks this game. I mean, a lot of hers were her, 4 or 5 dice range one?
I did the Cybo a couple times, but dealing no damage with any of those really kind of hurt. And then unfortunately, you were able to take the point from me, and you just kept pushing her back, and then Beta Ray just kept throwing her away, right?
She also didn't pull that trigger once for the pursuit, which definitely would have helped you stay in a relevant position more that game.
That was the other catch. I kept fishing for that pursuit, and it wasn't happening for me.
And on the flip side, Thor was getting all of his wild throws. I don't think he failed one.
I think he failed the first one, I think, didn't he, against Cable?
Maybe.
I think he did.
Maybe, because I did whiff on attack into
Yeah.
cable. Was that Thor or Beta Ray, though?
I think that was Thor because you went up here with
Oh,
Thor.
yeah, I charged down, yeah.
And I think you whiffed once. But
but I did 1 damage and got the stagger.
Yeah,
That was
but
what that
you
was.
got the stagger, which was the bigger deal.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was the bigger deal because it did keep him to 1 action.
I was denying cable activations this entire game because I dazed him before he went the round that I dazed him. I KO'd him before he went. Oh no, that was after he went.
He got 2 activations, I think.
And then he got a staggered activation.
That was one of his 2 activations.
Oh, okay.
Because he was staggered round. You staggered him.
Yeah,
his second activation was the stagger
this ended round 4, right?
Yeah, and then you dazed him before he could do anything.
Yep.
In round 3, and then you KO'd him before he could do anything in well, no, you
he
KO'd him after he was useless in round 4.
So yeah, he did get 3 activations, but round 4 he didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Anything meaningful.
Yeah, he did get 3 out of 4, but yeah. It's just his last activation was so pointless that it doesn't really matter.
And that was that was like at that point when you went to the Exani Sun, I was scared about it, but I was kind of rooting for you just to keep the game going a little longer.
I mean, Dice should have done a little bit better for me on that one.
Although at the end of the day, if you weren't expecting to kill him, and I would have peeled the stagger anyways. Beta Ray never ended up activating the final round, so him going down wouldn't have made a big difference.
No, it wouldn't have, and that's the unfortunate part of it all. Like, it's just, again, I wasn't really in any great positions here, and you made a very telling comment that my best physical attacker was all the way over here.
Yeah, so when I pop not Odin's Blessing, Doom Prophecy, Mystique was the only one, and I'm honestly, now that I'm thinking about it more, I think Mystique might have had the best odds to kill Thor, as weird as that sounds.
It's possible, but again, I was fishing for the stagger just in case things went poorly.
So that's 2, so you needed 7, that's 3, so far I'm not exceptionaling any of this. That's 5 now, and then you I exceptional, and I survive on 1.
Yep, you survive on 1.
So, and there was no terrain for you to blow up there or anything either.
No, that was within range anyway. So, and not only that, but it's an action to blow up terrain.
Right, you're
right. Yeah, so like, and that's the thing. Like, 4 dice. I think I actually rolled 1.
You just rolled 5 there. Not that it mattered. That would have been the exceptional.
That would have been the
Odin's
exceptional
Blessing,
one.
rather.
Yeah, Odin's Blessing. And that was the thing. I was in a really bad position. Like, just things did not stop. Things stopped going my way.
Yeah.
And you were doing a really good job burning your power on Beta Ray as well, so he never exploded.
I think he did the final round. No, it was
Psylocke. Psylocke and Beta Ray both.
Yeah, they both popped 1 round. It's why Thor had the 1 damage on.
That's right. It was just. Oh man, game went pear-shaped really quickly there.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. I had some otherwise good characters that didn't really pop off and do what they did. This was one of those games where Thor did do that.
Yes.
Which was excellent for Thor.
Yes, Thor was, like, again, aside from that first turn, Thor was really good this game.
Thor was an MVP for you this game.
He was.
I mean, Bill threw Psylocke over the place, which was important, but Thor was removing activations.
Bill did exactly why he's in the list. He was a relevant control piece, and he was very annoying for you to remove. I think a little too annoying, but still.
Oh, my goodness. There's 2 instances where he survived by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
And that was really rough, because I could have gotten him. Yeah.
And like when you threw that first attack into him with Psylocke, where he had no power to reduce, and I think you got 3 or 4 damage out of that attack, I was just like, this is terrible. I've made terrible mistakes here.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you saved the Doom Prophecy right for the right time, and it swung the game. Not swung it. It ended the game.
Yeah, it made it much harder for you to pull back at that point.
Yeah, and that's I guess early on, like round 2, I probably should have spent a little bit more time fishing for objectives. Losing the shield base hurt a lot.
Yes, because I was able to keep saying X-23 is not going to get 2 attacks on me, and that was important.
It kept Hela alive.
It definitely
no question, right? Kept Hela.
For as little as she did damage-wise, Hela was flipping those points back and forth this entire game. So she ended up probably scoring me a good 3 or 4 points this game.
She scored your points. She helped push X-23 around. Yeah, no, your plan came together. Yeah. I think in the end that's kind of what happened. Your plan came together, and you were able to execute it. And unfortunately, I was not able to claw my way back up with what happened there. But yeah, so there we go. That is the X-Force versus Asgard. Jason, great game as always, man.
Yeah, fantastic.
Even if you just friggin'
It
rolled
was
me.
definitely a bit of a
that one stings a little bit.
slaughter by the end, but
I feel like I need to go get my Shield roster and make myself feel better.
I brought the Avengers with me.
But nah, nobody likes seeing my Shield on channel for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, so there you go. So Asgard 19, X-Force a whopping 6, ending round 4. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, get involved in the comments below. If you want to support the channel, patreon.com/AegisBrand Thank you to everyone who is a patron over there. You guys are helping keep this stuff going. And of course, thank you all for watching and being supportive. We'll see you next time. Happy wargaming.